Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Walsh. I am here to present my speech number one for speech class. My topic is going to be low self-monitor and self-monitoring in general, whether you're a low self-monitor, high self-monitor, just in between, just right. So I'm going to be discussing the differences between the two of those, and then I'm also going to bring in some examples. Also, I have a couple points I'm going to bring up about it. But let's get right into this topic. And so how you would define self-monitoring? Well, I'll give it to you like this. Let's say you're a low self-monitor and it's just average, let's say. If you're a low self-monitor, I will be talking to you. I will tell you, yeah, I had a rough weekend. And your response might be something along the lines of, oh, gee, I'm sorry to hear that. Just in a completely different and kind of unnecessary tone. But if you're a high self-monitor, when I tell you, yeah, I had a pretty crappy weekend, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything you want me to do to help? Just generally, like, that's what a high self-monitor would do. They tend to pay attention more to the crowd per se, versus a low self-monitor, it does a bad job of reading the room. That's what a low self-monitor is. And so, 3 of the points I'm going to bring up today are how to handle a person who is a low self-monitor, and what you need to do in that scenario, like so that way you don't make a fool of yourself. Why are they self-monitors? Or I'm sorry, why are people low self-monitors? In general, like what causes people to just have a hard time being good with their self-monitoring skills? And then the final thing is how to improve. You're going to want to improve your ability to self-monitor and just be a better person. So the first thing is how to handle a situation with someone who is a bad self-monitor. Well, for starters, almost all of us have our moments. We all pretty much have moments of low self-monitoring. It could be just anywhere, anytime. It could be when you're on a game with your boys. You're playing a Warzone match and you just don't listen and it costs you the game. But of course it also happens in real life. For example, for me, I could be talking to my brother and he could be talking about something that I'm not really interested in and I just don't give 100% attention, which is another thing about self-monitoring is the higher your self-monitoring skill, you tend to pay more attention. Lower, you tend to kind of just breeze through the conversation, just like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's what it is. So, for example, with my brother, he or me might be talking about something that the other person's not interested in, for example, and all I will say is, okay, or I'll give him a response like when we're talking really chill, I'll get really just hyper for no reason and just get loud and be like, yeah, which is showing my inability to self-monitor properly. But that's also just with my brother. In the real world, with people you don't know, that can cost you sometimes jobs. Because especially if you're in a job interview, you've got to be able to self-monitor and talk at the same pace and same tone as your interviewer. That's pretty much how to handle it. You gotta calm yourself down, and you just gotta go through it because some people they're just born like that. Now my second point, why are people low self-monitors? Well, it starts out like this. Most people get nervous talking to people they don't know. Like right now, I'm nervous talking to the camera. So that's just a sign like you're nervous. You don't know how to handle yourself in front of people sometimes, to an extent. But that's just how it is. You just, like, if you're a low self-monitor, you just, like, you need to work on your ability to improve, and just keep working it. You got to get your confidence up. That's what it is. Key thing is confidence. And then my third point, how to improve that, like I just said, you got to get your confidence up. You got to practice. Get out there. Get out of your shell. You know, the more you stay in your shell, even as a sociable person, for me, with this whole quarantine thing, once we reopened, like a couple weeks ago, I lost all my social cues because it's been so long since I talked to people, and my self-monitoring ability went in the toilet. So you have to keep constantly practice and practice and practice and practice till it's in your head. You got to keep working at it. And keep working at it and keep improving. Practice with other people. You got to practice in situations and talk. So that's pretty much it to it. Yeah. Thank you so much.